Man, what a great game and a really fun game to watch too. That one definitely had some old school grit to it. I mean, a final score of 104-98 is not very common in today's NBA, but when you got the Rockets out there, a very gritty defensive-minded team, and then a team like the Lakers when committed defensively, that's the kind of game you can get, and that's the kind of game we got tonight. And with it, the Lakers have moved to a record of 46-29, maintaining the 4th seed, staying within 2.5 games of the 2nd seed, which currently is owned by the Rockets. And with the Lakers having won this game, they have evened up the series between them, which definitely could come in handy later on, especially if the Lakers make a late season push. But regardless, the important part here and the short-term outlook is them winning this game tonight and playing a very good game at that too. I mean, when they can win against a team like the Rockets, with both LeBron and Austin Reeves scoring under 16 points or 16 or under points, and then with Luka Doncic having only 20 points on 6 of 16 from the field, and just like everyone predicted, having their team points leader being Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent tied at 20 points with Luka Doncic. Kidding about that, obviously. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Great game from Dorian Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent. I mean, knocking down 12 3-point shots combined, shooting 12 of 24 from the 3-point line, making all but 4 of their 3-point shots, and that's pretty damn impressive. Two guys that normally account for about 14 to 15 points combined, maybe. Then to come out and average about 40 together, or 40 combined I mean, that's pretty impressive, and they definitely were the MVPs out there for their team tonight. Not only offensively, but definitely defensively too, especially for Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, you don't play that much small ball against a team like the Rockets without a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith. The guy was matching up and switching on defense from everyone from Fred VanVleet all the way down to Alperen Şengün and even Steven Adams out there too. So big shout out to Finney-Smith tonight. They definitely don't win that game without him, and obviously not without those two on the court. But then going back to the three of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James, obviously weren't able to replicate their last game, where they combined for 85 points, and now this time out, barely combined for over 40 points. But even with that, they got some great help behind them. Like I mentioned with Finney-Smith and Gabe Vincent, they played hard on defense to make up for it. LeBron had a great, very important block at the end there, blocking Alperen Şengün, which may have cut it down to 1 point. And then Austin Reeves actually playing good defense, Luka playing good defense, both of which having 2 steals on the night, all around locking in and finding different ways to contribute on the court. Now I'd obviously love for them to combine for 80 points every night, but that's simply not realistic. And again, like I said, if they can win a game like this against the Rockets, with those three not playing particularly well offensively, that's a very good sign for their team going forward. And with that in mind here, all around great win for their team, beating the Rockets, maintaining the 4th seed, getting a very important win late in the season here, and showing that they could win that series against them if it would come to that, which I already was pretty confident in. But with all of that being said, I'll let you hear about their win from the team tonight and how they can carry this win going forward.
Coach, I know obviously it's just a couple of games here where the rhythm's kind of been found, but do you feel like now that you have the whole team kind of together and you're able to stack these wins against these top teams, that the team's kind of unlocking something, figuring it out together?
Yeah, I wouldn't say a rhythm. I mean, those are two very different games. I think the competitive spirit and togetherness, we had to play really hard tonight to put ourselves in a position to win the basketball game. We set a season high for catch and shoot threes with 29. A lot of those were uncontested. We were 2 for 16 on uncontested threes in the first half. I feel like, we left a lot on the table, and they did a really good job, I thought, of not allowing us at times to get the matchups that we wanted with some of their scrams. They have a great defense. They communicate well. They're big. They're athletic. They're strong. But we weathered some missed shots, did a good job of taking care of the basketball, limited them to 13 fast break points and 10 second chance points, made them play in the half court. Our guys really competed on that. They left everything on, they emptied the tank. They emptied the tank on the defensive end. It was fantastic.
JJ, Houston played some huge lineups, and I think you were small for a pretty good portion. What allowed those units to have success, and like what's the key when you're in those formations against a team like that?
Well, defensively, it's just packing the paint and getting rebound. I think we did that tonight. LeBron 8 rebounds, Austin 8 rebounds, Lucas 6 rebounds, Doe 6 rebounds, Gabe 4 rebounds, Vando 6 rebounds. That's how we have to. That's how we have to control the glass is by committee. This was very explicit. If you're on Şengün and Adams, you're not going to get the rebound. Your job is to box out. It's somebody else's job to come in, tip the ball to a teammate, or grab the rebound. We were great with that tonight.
When we were in Memphis, you told us that you liked the way that the team kept going to Dorian on the three-point line, even though he was missing some, and he hit a big one tonight. His best game offensively as a Laker. Have you had to, coach him up to be able to, keep shooting? For him, it's probably feels strange to shoot 11 threes when you have Austin and LeBron and Luka as teammates. Yeah. But do you have to kind of unlock that in him?
They should have been 14. He should have shot 14. He passed up 3. I think his teammates have a ton of confidence in him. We as a coaching staff have a ton of confidence. He needs gentle reminders sometime to keep shooting. And particularly, look, the type of shots that he gets, whether that's a corner 3 or a pick and pop versus a 5, they're open shots. We're not going to get a better shot. He has to be willing to unload the clip every night.
JJ, I know you kind of already touched on it, but it felt like they were really making a point to get the big 3, the ball out of their hands and into everyone else's hands, and you could tell that kind of by their field goal attempts. How did you feel like you guys handled that, and is this kind of like a reference point for the playoffs when you're playing teams that are probably going to try and do the same thing? Yeah,
I think, Houston, they have the personnel to do that. Our 3 guys that are our primary creators and shot takers, I thought just did a good job of being patient and taking what was there. And if they wanted the ball to find Gabe and Dorian, I think those guys responded well. They shot 12 for 24 from 3. Again, it's just a willingness to take shots. And it wasn't just the 2 of them. Rui missed 5 threes that were open. We generated good stuff. It was very obvious that they were trying to take away Jackson's roles. They were loading to Bron. They were loading to AR. They were trying to not allow us to score in the paint. And then with their 5s, just they never went to a switch, never went to a red. So it was just all pick and pop. And again, we want those guys taking those shots if they're there.